You see, I've always been the type of person who is obsessed with creating the perfect workspace. I just always believed that the environment that you work out of has a huge impact on the type of work that you're able to produce. Therefore, my space needed to be designed in a way that would evoke inspiration for me to creatively think, but it still needed to be functional at the same time. It couldn't just look pretty, and it needed to meet all of my technical needs as a filmmaker. And lastly, it needed to be good value. I didn't want to waste money buying things that weren't useful for me in my life. A disclaimer in this video is that this is a very expensive setup. It's well over $6,000, but please just use this video for inspiration and for ideas for creating your own perfect workspace, as I've spent a ton of time and research creating my space, so I really think you guys might find some value in this video. Starting with the actual desk itself, I wanted a color scheme of only shades such as blacks, grays, whites. I also wanted the desk to be wide enough so I could put a lot of functional items on top of it to help with my workflow. And lastly, it needed to stand. I can only sit for so many hours, and being able to stand while working is a huge deal to me. So in terms of the tabletop, I purchased this one from IKEA. It's a Linman black-brown tabletop that's 200 by 60 centimeters. It was around $60 Canadian, so it's pretty wide. To allow my desk to actually stand, I purchased a separate product from Prime Cables on Amazon. It's an electric sit-stand dual motor height adjustable desk. It's about $389.99 Canadian on Amazon. My favorite thing about this product is the controller itself. It has an up and down key to allow you to manually adjust the height of the desk, and 3 memory presets to allow you to save desk heights for certain situations. For me, I have a preset for when I want to do work sitting, and then I have a preset for when I want to do work standing. I forgot to bring this up in the video. I did want to mention that I have installed a outlet under the desk, and then the actual Prime Cables motor came with runways and like a cable cage to keep all of my cables attached to my desk. It just provides good cable management. But anyways, back to the video. If you're thinking of buying a sit-stand desk, I really recommend you save a little bit more money and get one that comes with memory presets, because that's a huge deal. Just having the ability to go from sit to stand with one button press to the optimal height that works for you, it really encourages you to actually sit and stand throughout your workflow. Whereas if it was a manual adjustment, I really think it'd be a lot more cumbersome and annoying to always manually adjust the desk to the right height every single time. In terms of computers, I have 2. I believe having 2 computers is ideal. I do most of my work at home, so I needed a powerful custom-built PC to meet all of my needs as a video creator. But at the same time, there are moments during the year where I need to complete work away from my office. So I needed a laptop that would make my experience video editing as close to desktop-like performance as possible without spending a lot of money. In terms of my custom-built desktop PC, it has 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. It has an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core processor, an NVIDIA GTX 1060 6GB video card, a 1TB Samsung 960 EVO SSD, and a 1TB Western Digital hard drive. There's also the motherboard and other components that go into building a custom PC, and it came up to around approximately $2,000 to have this build. In terms of my laptop, it's a Dell XPS 9560, which I also picked up for around $2,000 when it came out. It houses an Intel Core i7 7700 HQ processor with a built-in NVIDIA GTX 1050 with 4 gigabytes of dedicated memory, 256 gigabytes of internal SSD, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. I tried to find a link to this product online, but I don't think they sell this one anymore because it did come out almost 2 years ago. Every desktop needs a monitor, and I wanted a monitor that was curved, color accurate, not too expensive, and overall just pretty to look at. I opted to go with the Asus VZ72VQ monitor. It's 27 inches curved, 1080p, and my favorite thing about it is how glare resistant it is. Even with lots of daylight hitting the frame from my window, the monitor itself is 100% viewable with no compromise. The monitor itself sits on a clear glass riser that I bought off Amazon from a company called Fit2Eyes. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they actually don't sell this product anymore, so you can't actually buy the one that I have specifically. I wanted to raise my monitor to be at eye level, as that's what's recommended, so you don't hunch over with your neck when you're viewing content on your screen. I also just love the glass look of the product. It's very minimalist, and it creates an illusion of more space because you can actually see through it. In terms of my mouse and keyboard, I wanted to use this part of my setup as an opportunity to minimize wires. Thus, I went with wireless options, and I'm just not a fan of the gamer aesthetic for a lot of keyboards and mouses out there. I wanted something minimalist. I opted with the Microsoft Wireless Desktop 900 keyboard and mouse. It's a full-size keyboard that's extremely comfortable to type on, and the mouse is precise. I've had zero issues with this product. Because I am a creator and my main line of work when I'm in here is video editing, I needed external hard drive storage implemented into my desk. It definitely takes away from the clean, minimalist look I want to go for, in my opinion. It almost makes the desk feel a bit crowded, but as I said earlier, my workspace can't just look pretty. It still needs to meet all of my functional needs as a video editor slash creator. So I have two 6TB hard drives, one from G Technology, which is around $263 before tax, and then another one from Seagate, which is about $150 before tax, which is pretty much a mirror backup of the G-Tech hard drive in case it fails. I'm following a traditional 3-2-1 backup method, so 3 backups, 2 different physical storage options, and 1 offsite. So my offsite backups are all in the cloud through Google Drive. I also have an external 500GB Samsung T5 SSD, which goes for about $140 Canadian. I have it plugged in on top of my computer, so anytime I'm working on a project, I always have it backed up to this drive at all times. That way, if my computer ever randomly craps out on me, I have a backup of my entire project on hand, and I can continue to work on it via my laptop or until I just decide to fix the main issues on the main computer. In terms of transferring any type of media onto my computer, I have an SD card reader. They are super cheap. They go for around $20, and I think they are an absolute necessity to any creative workspace. Network connectivity. This is a big one. I deal with massive files. I regularly upload almost 200 gigabytes of data per video project onto Google Drive. Every few days, I upload a video. I needed a solution that allowed me to upload any piece of data within minutes from my computer. In terms of my internet, I am lucky enough to have gigabit internet, so my max speed is 1.5 gigabits per second download and 940 megabits per second upload with Bell. If I can connect my desktop directly into the router, I'd get those speeds like no problem. The issue I faced was that my router is only able to be placed in my living room, and we all know ISP routers suck. So I needed a strong wireless solution that still gave me incredibly fast speeds with no compromise to my main workstation here. Through a lot of research, I went with the D-Link Cover AC2200 tri-band Wi-Fi mesh system. It goes for around $350 Canadian before tax. If you're not familiar with mesh Wi-Fi, essentially it's a Wi-Fi system set up with multiple identical nodes around your house to give you completely seamless coverage, all under one SSID and password, no matter where you are in the house. This specific product gives me about 6,000 square feet of range, which is really crazy to even say that. And what's really cool about this Wi-Fi system is that it's a tri-band system. So essentially what this means is that the two nodes have a dedicated 5 gigahertz backhaul band that communicates to each other outside of the other two Wi-Fi bands that are already being used to connect multiple devices. This means that the internet being fed to the first node from my modem can be transferred to the other node in my office through a dedicated channel, resulting in very minimal loss in network speed. And the icing on the cake on this is that I can directly connect via Ethernet to the node in my office that directly talks back to the node connecting to the modem. So I'm essentially getting wired in like performance wirelessly. This is huge because there was no slowdown in internet speed at all, and I could continue to be productive and get things done without limitations that can come with network connectivity. I also wanted to touch upon some of the accessories that I have on my desk. I really do believe each of these products individually tie the whole working experience together and make it a more seamless experience. I have a Blue Yeti X mic that I absolutely love, and it goes for around $230 Canadian before tax. I believe audio is way more important than video quality, as people tend to be more forgiving if something looks bad, but not so forgiving if we can't understand you or if it just sounds terrible to begin with. It's perfect for voiceovers like what you hear in this video and any type of conference calls you might have working from home. I paired this solution with acoustic sound panels and bass traps that I've purchased from Amazon that came to around $100. They really help dampen any echo in the room. It just allows for even more crispier audio for any conference calls you might have or any voiceovers you want to do. In terms of my speaker system, my belief and philosophy was that I like big, I like loud, and I like immersive audio. I'm really an audio junkie. I went with the Logitech Z506 5.1 surround sound system. It's awesome for playing music, watching movies, pretty much anything when you need downtime from doing work. We all need breaks from working at the desk, and this definitely makes consuming content online an enjoyable experience. I have my laptop resting on an aluminum stand from Sounddance. It's purely for aesthetic reasons. I don't typically do work off my laptop on my actual desk. I just like having it there as it's pleasing to my eye, and it's around $50 on Amazon if you want to buy it. I also have a desk mat I purchased off Amazon from a company called Kakoi, I believe. It's about $40 Canadian before tax. It's 39.4 by 15.7 inches. It's an artificial gray leather, non-slip, and very smooth actually for a mouse, which is awesome, so I don't need a dedicated mouse pad. I am a fan of creating lines, and I don't know how to articulate this other than that creating a sectioned off rectangle on my desk with a different color just ties everything together. That's the best way I can word it for you. If there's one tiny thing I love about this space, is the connectivity it has to my smart home. I have one Wi-Fi plug that controls the main office light above, and all I have to do is ask Google to turn it off or on. It's awesome. I love it. I also have a candle in my office that I like to light from a company called Bath & Body Works. I specifically have the sun-washed citrus candle. It smells amazing. As for plants, I have a succulent. I got it as a gift from a Secret Santa Christmas party that I had here a couple of months ago. I actually have a video about it. I'll link it down below if you want to watch it. Never hurts to have some green life in your workspace. Remember in the beginning of this video, I talked about how the environment that I'm working out of has a huge impact on my ability to creatively think and to produce good work. A clean desk that meets all of your needs isn't the only way to achieve this goal. I'd encourage you to actually think about the room that your desk is actually in, and think about any tiny additions you can add around the desk to really tie the whole workspace together. I have a whiteboard that's right beside where I do my work. I find it pretty useful just for to-do lists, but I also like to sometimes write down quick ideas or anything that I want to kind of jot down quickly before I forget. And also right beside where I work is I have two shelves here that has all of my accomplishments, my gear, and my favorite items. I just find that it adds more personality to my space, and I love that so much. I also have a cart that I purchased from IKEA. I find it very useful to put items in here that I might need quick access to when I'm doing work from my desk. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This was a long one, but there's lots of good information in here. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to support the channel. It really does go a long way from every single contribution that you guys can do through a like or a subscribe. Comment down below as well, anything that you use to kind of create your own desk setup, because I'd love to know. I'm always trying to improve my workspace every week. But anyways, that's it. Stay safe. I know we're in unprecedented times right now, but I'll catch all of you guys in the next video.